It is February 13th, 2025. I'm looking like ham and shit. And here I am finding myself back at Negro's. It's been about a week. I've been planting lots of mostly bananas. Planted like 9 coconuts yesterday, which isn't much. But lots of durian, that seeds that I brought before. We went ahead and put it into the ground. Things are exciting. And the world is not very exciting. So I find the need to continually have to do something boots on the ground, simple, in nature, you know, because there's so many distractions. Here, let me give you 1 second. Let me put you in my pocket, or I guess I could pause you here. So I was gonna film a bit like this, but because I have to walk on this tumultuous road over here on balance, you're gonna go ahead and meet me at GB's farm. I'll see you in a second. Get to work, plant, find your friends, find your allies. Kin's domains, family domains, they are the answer. Take care or figure out your own nutrition, or figure out the source for your own raw nutrition, and the rest will take care of itself. Your thinking speed will multiply and get faster. Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna have to pocket you for a second here. You know what I need? I need a GoPro, because I want to show you snippets of me walking away from the irrigation down into this valley. Oh, this banana's so heavy. I gotta go. Go. You can see the other side. We're gonna go down into the next to where the river is. Let's go. It's starting to rain. Let's go. So I pulled out the camera here so you could see a little bit of an overtop view of GB's project. As you can see, I'm going to take the bananas over there and keep on planting over there where GB has used the carabao cow to cultivate. And so this is the project GB is working on right now. Sandy has a few other things in mind. Right now he's cutting a bunch of wood for charcoal, and then he's going to plant a bunch of coconuts, banana, and whatever there, santo, to help the soil. But yeah, this is kind of it, you know. This is how we should be working. We should be working with the people who have land and cannot manage it all by themselves, or need help and want help. That's the most important thing. Some people do not appreciate a natural hygiene revolution. So we have to find those and become those people that are suitable and ready for this, you know, raw natural hygiene revolution. Because, you know, I'm tired of eating rice. I'm still eating rice right now because there's not enough fruit here. We would have to go out to the city for an hour and buy a bunch of fruit and come back, and that's sometimes a hassle. So we're still eating some cooked food, and that's why this is a in the works process. Maybe GB has started 3 months ago, and now I'm coming here to accelerate it. You know, obviously I brought lots of durian, I'll show you. And so he planted that, and all right, so I'm gonna toss this dusty old, dirty old, almost probably 30 kg bag of banana sprouts. Whew. Holy moly! Show you what we're looking at. So the ones that are really small, that's what I've been doing with GB. Why are you so blurry, camera? Come on, there we go. And obviously the big ones he's been planting. So he's had a second wind as I'm coming here, helping him speed along the process of things. Again, we want lots of guava, we want lots of coconut, we want lots of papaya. There's not many papaya here right now, so that's probably our next task. And lots of banana for the first part of the natural hygiene revolution, because that gives you quick food and year-round. So it's a reliable source of constant food. I would say the other fruits are better in the form of nutrition, but when it comes to reliability, you know what's up. So get off your butt. You know, I mean, if you're working, that's one thing. Find people where you can invest your money with, buy some land with them, and start a project like this. You know, money is really pointless. I'm going to go further into depth, but off the top of my head, I'm just going to reiterate some of the things that I was listening to in an excerpt from Anastasia chapter 7 of the Ring Cedars books. And it talks about how it doesn't matter how rich you are, Doesn't matter how famous you are. If you have a garden, if you don't have a garden, you don't have anything. Because if you're not in control of your own food, someone else is in control of you. So if you don't have an actual relationship with nature, if you're not communing with nature, how can you really say you know God? That's why the most important thing that Negro kind of made a list of was, number one, every man should have land. Man and woman should have land, should have a family domain for them to plant on. Number two, it is the best if they can, plant their own food, at least be in control of their own food, and there should be many varieties. I'm blanking on number three. Damn it. Many varieties. I'm not sure, but number four, which is what I'm trying to get to, was neighbors. Make sure you pick good neighbors, because it's kind of also pointless if you're doing it next to a factory, if you're making a family kin's domain next to a factory. Obviously, there are times in Anastasia saying, in the book saying, we should clean the cities first. We should clean the mistake we made first. But at the same time, if you want to make a, immediately lasting and clean area, kind of a place like a way station, like a place outside the matrix, where you can start making progress, some place like this is the best thing. The only downside I would say about this place is the water. So there's a big river. There's a big river here. I'm going to show you. But because there's a lot of rice farming and cattle and stuff like this, I think there's a runoff of stuff that you don't want to be in the water. But it's much better than city water, I would imagine, because they're putting chemicals much worse and much higher dosages to make it clean, even though if you were to see the actual color of the water, it'd be black. Well, over here, yeah, so we have to change the culture of the people around us. And this is an idea I had. Maybe we got to buy out all the rice farmers and all the carabao farmers. I mean, we will still use carabao from time to time if we need to turn over the land for some reason or another, especially as GB has done here, and as many durian plants that we've planted. Let me see if I can find one. There's one. Are thriving because of the cultivation. I'm not really for tilling, but if it's a one-time till and a plant like this durian can thrive from it, why not? So yeah, pick good neighbors. And then, in this natural hygiene revolution, I mean, a lot of things, I would say about 98% of the things that Anastasia says correlate or are the same with the concepts of natural hygiene. That we shouldn't be putting things in our body that's poisonous or inflammatory and causes toxemia, poisoning of the blood. We should be able to eliminate our metabolic waste quickly and effectively. So, and we should be able to speed up our thinking and become a higher state of human being. And what's the fastest way to do that? So what did all kings have? No matter how rich they are, they always had a garden. Because they knew, the priests that control this earth, that run all the masses, know that the food source, the nutrition source is the most important. What did Anastasia say? Eating should be as easy as breathing. Right now, we can't even breathe. Breathing is not easy unless you're in a place like this. And even in a place like this, it's still not 100% clean air. So, in the Anastasia books, it talks about pollen, flower, dust, and how Adam, the first human, or, whether that's a metaphor or not, the first humans who didn't probably pollute the earth, probably didn't have to eat as much. Why? Why were they more breatharian in nature? Why was eating as easy as breathing? Well, because they had nutrition in the air. They had clean air. So they could take in lots of things that we can't even imagine, from herbs and plants and different flowers, from just the air. Just by one deep breath, they're feeding themselves and cleaning things, cleaning different things in their body that need to be cleaned, which is again mentioned in the book of Anastasia, talking about how there's nothing you cannot cure in a family domain. That should be the title for this video. There is nothing you cannot cure in a family domain. Colonia Divina, Philippines. So this place, amongst other places like Saipan, I have a few projects going with some friends on their own lands, but their lands are not huge, absolutely massive. I have a few more projects in, I have friends in Mexico, friends in Portugal, a little bit further away from those friends now, but let's see, lots of projects in Korea, and people interested in doing these things in Korea. But again, whenever I come to Colonia Divina, I see the most potential here, because there's lots of land, maybe 5 acres, 5 hectares, maybe upwards to 6 hectares, and there's not enough people trying to work these lands. So there's lots of space we can still be utilizing. It's a little bit inclined, but I think it's a little bit better, just because there's a difference in the climate and zones, and of course there's flat areas like this that are being utilized so that we can quickly start planting durian. There's river, and I think again the potential of growing here is great, and even the name Colonia Divina. I mean, GB's grandfather, the main guy here, who's fruitarian, 7 years raw, I believe, and trying to continue the legacy of his grandfather. What a great mission! Just like my grandfather's legacy, Operation Lighthouse, which I am continuing in a new light, which is optimizing and operating at the highest capacity of the human body and the human mind by eliminating the inflammation, the acidosis, and the poison in the ground and in our bodies, therefore, right? And in our habitual existence, eliminating all that crap. Well, his grandpa had this Operation Lighthouse already operating long before me. 1960 or something like that, 1950 something. He came, got a bunch of land from the government, spread it out to the villagers, and said, start farming fruit. Start eating raw, less cooking. Don't worry so much about money. There's going to be a time where going to the city will be dangerous and unimportant. Focus on being self-sustainable out here right now. And that's where we need to be getting at, folks. That's exactly the answer, the Anastasia answer. Although he also said, follow what I say, don't follow what I do, because he had certain vices of his own. That is exactly the blueprint we need to be operating in, and continually finding the same like-minded people, because we are much powerful together, and making something happen. I was watching this guy who quit from Citibank, and he's like exposing all the elites' kind of tricks and hacks that they use to control the people. Well, one of them is they sow division amongst us, amongst the people that can actually work together. Because if we group together, we're much bigger and larger and stronger than these few ultra billion mega millionaires, right? They might have all the money, but we have the love, we have the power, we have the imagination, we have the creativity. We can do things without the money. And of course, we can utilize money. Money is not always a bad thing. It's just how it's being used right now is the root of all evil. So we need to get together, like he said. I think his name's Tyler, I could be wrong. The Citibank retiree who was like a super big trader. He's saying the poor people need to get together and work together. We need to stop being duped by the rich. And some of the rich, I think, are realizing that we got to do something fast. I have lots of money, but again, like Anastasia says, there's no point if you don't have a garden, if you don't have loving people around you, if you don't have a family domain. That is the most important thing, folks, is a kin's domain, a family domain, where you're planting plus 300 types, varieties of perennials and whatever. And you are healing yourself, you're healing your family, you're healing the nation by healing yourself first. You heal one cell first, you heal the rest of your cells next, then you heal the environment around you, or simultaneously as you're doing this. And as you heal the environment, the psychology, as Krishnamurti would say, the inner psychology, the psychological shortcomings and the problems within you, then simultaneously you will be planting durian and bananas and all these raw fruits that are going to get you to the next level of thinking, next level of living at once. And then suddenly society changes, because as we do this and we make this a trend and we show people that this is the only real future that's left for humanity, not this constant plastic waste producing, constantly selling and buying bullshit, right? we will produce the next wave of consciousness, of enlightenment, if you will, which is, again, we must eat as if we breathe. And there's nothing you cannot cure in a family domain. So, get to work. You know, just like I carried that huge sack of bananas. This is just one day. Huge sack of bananas. Imagine if you carry 10, 20 bananas each day from a different land to your friend's land or your land that you're working on. And you make something like this happen. And eventually you're not eating the rice. Eventually you're not eating the cooked foods. Eventually you're totally raw. And hopefully soon you skip the starchy ones and you go to more the purer fruits. And you feed yourself with life. You get faster thinking. You get more people with faster thinking together on a land. You get faster and faster at cultivating these lands and making these lands living family domains where love can exist, where children can grow up that are not degenerative and don't all have autism and some kind of Down syndrome and Turner syndrome and all this, that are not lonely, and we all work together and we make a heaven, an Eden on earth. Imagine that. Stop imagining some other thing in the city like I'm having to do because I don't have enough money to, upkeep this visa and get a permanent visa and stay here for indefinite amounts of times. Let's think more long term. Let's think more planting. Let's think more getting together. Let's think more family domain, kin's domain, and again, grouping together as the so-called weak ones, as the so-called ones that are being exploited by the Matrix. And making this eating as easy as breathing and curing everything that we know with our family domain of love. Thank you. See you in the next one. Alright, here we are. We really like to make everything complex, but it's as simple as this. There's one, there's two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I made some space for the durian. 13, 14. I think that's it. So it was 14 bananas today. Nice.